To all my friends, all the hosts at ESPN, welcome. I'm David Essel, and let me tell you, I just love network, and I really want to do some work with you to help our country in the world of sports. As a former Division I basketball player for the past 43 years, counselor, master life coach, #1 best-selling author, I saw something at the U.S. Open this year that bothered me so deeply. I'm reaching out to you. We've reached out to the U.S. Open Committee. They will not respond to us. We've reached out to the USTA. They will not respond to us. And I want to come on your show, wherever you think would be the best fit for David Essel, to talk about athletes as role models in 2022, to talk about the responsibility of athletes to do the right thing as role models in 2022. When I watch the U.S. Open, I'm a huge tennis fan. I play once a week. I'm very average, but I love to watch tennis. And I watched this match between Jessica Pegula and the #1 player in the world. And at the end of it, it was a great match. And at the end of it, of course, they went to the next match, and it was a men's singles semifinals, I believe it was. And all of a sudden, they cut to the press conference, guys and ladies. And there's Jessica Pegula with a massive Heineken beer in her hand. And all of a sudden, one of the reporters, thank God, says, "What are you doing with a beer in your hand?" And her response was incredibly disturbing and disgusting, everyone. She said, and I paraphrase, "It's to ease the loss. It's to soothe the pain of losing." Now let's think about this. As someone who started in the world of sports psychology, and I still work with major athletes, I was absolutely shocked because those are alcoholic statements. And those statements were heard around the world. And whether Jessica wants to be a role model or not, I think about Charles Barkley saying, "I don't want to be a role model." It doesn't matter if you want to be or not. If you're on a major stage and as a professional athlete, you are a role model. I have no idea how many followers Jessica Pegula has all over the world, but I would imagine there's quite a few. Can you imagine a 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 18, 20-year-old rising tennis star watching that press conference, having a pro that they look up to say, you just got to release that pain and numb out with some beer. Oh, if you have a loss, just numb out. Don't face your emotions. Just numb out. Our world is struggling, and the United States is struggling deeply in addiction. Alcohol sales up over 1,000%. And we have the U.S. Open Committee that we also have to hold accountable. And we've reached out to them. U.S. Open Committee will not respond to us. USTA will not respond to us. I wonder why. They're just as responsible, if not more responsible, because they're the ones that chose to show that news clip during a live match between two men that was happening right at that moment. I'm sitting there watching this with her and the beer, and would LeBron James do that? Would Roger Federer, after a loss at a press conference, have a beer? I also think of the 40, 50, 60-year-olds, individuals that play recreational tennis that may be a huge fan of Jessica Pegula. And let's say they're former alcoholics or they've struggled greatly in the past. And now they're watching their favorite tennis player drinking a beer, justifying it by saying it's to ease the pain of a loss. And we could have former alcoholics or people that are trying to stop go, "Wait a minute. Of course, that's the way to go. If there's any emotional pain, let's just numb it out and we'll deal with it another time," which means we'll never deal with it. I was an alcoholic for 30 years. I know those words very well. I used to say it all the time. "Oh, it's been a 12-hour day. Time for another glass of wine. Oh, my Lord, I just lost that contract. What the heck's going on? Let's go have a drink." Those are the words of the alcoholic. I don't know if Jessica's an alcoholic or not, but I know her words sound like one, and I know her actions look like one. I have never seen another professional athlete during a press conference, either after a win or a loss, drinking. And in her case, to numb the loss. I am available whenever it works for you. I am ready to not only put these people in their place and ask them to make a public apology, which we have asked and we're not getting any kind of response, to be mature enough to say, "I made an error on Jessica's part," to be mature enough for the U.S. Olympic Committee to maybe come on and join us, all three of us, and to make an apology to the world for what they showed, which was totally inappropriate. My publicist, TJ Torriello, will be reaching out to you, and I'll be available whenever you want me. Let's help this country heal. My website is below. I look forward to being on one of your shows. Have a great day, everyone.